So welcome back to this 6th edition battle report. We're on to Tyranid's turn 3. So Mark starts off by casting Endurance on his Hive Tyrant, which he successfully gets, and then swoops in to harass those poor looters that haven't done much of anything. The first squad of Termagants are going to move through difficult terrain. That's where he's rolling 3 dice. Same with the Tyranid warriors. Now Mark had a really good tactic where he moved up the warriors without wounds and move the ones I did wound in behind, so he keeps the squad at fuller strength for longer. Next up, the Doom of Malachi is going to run, and then the 2 Carnifexes are going to move over, and the 2 Zoanthropes as well. And the 2 squads of Termagants are going to run. I guess they're just moving at this point, they're not running. And then he's rolling to cast Endurance on the warriors, and then the Terragant is then pumping out more Termagants. I think he got 7 this time, but he did roll doubles, so that's the end. But in the end, that was a huge number of guys. I think it was like 21 or 22 in total. And now he's running up the other Termagant squad as well. And so we're into shooting. The Hive Tyrant's going to fire its Devourer at the Ludas. He gets 12 shots, twin linked. Of those, 11 hit with 8 wounds. I managed to make 1 t-shirt save, but that leaves me with 7 wounds I didn't save, so that squad is now gone. Next up, the Termagants with the Devourers. Now only 2 of them within range. They get 4 shots, 2 hits, 1 wound, but I do manage to make that t-shirt save there. Another squad of Termagants are going to fire. This time they're getting 27 Devourer shots. 11 of those hit. 7 wounds, and I made 1 save there. Not sure what oh, and these are the Feel No Pain saves, and failed all of those. And then I forgot to call out Mad Doc on himself, but he did make his save, so managed to make 2 of those saves. So there should be 5 guys gone here. Next up, the Tyranid warriors are going to fire both their Devourer and the Death Spitter. So the Devourer gets 12 shots, 9 hits, 4 wounds. And then the Death Spitter gets 3 shots, 1 wound, or 1 hit and no wounds. So we've got the 4 wounds from the Devourer. There we go. So 2 saves against Mad Doc, building suspense for the 3rd save here, and managed to make that one. And the last of the 4 wounds, I failed that one. So now I do the Feel No Pain roll, fail that one as well, and then look to do a Lookout Sir. And managed to make the Lookout Sir. So 1 boy went there. So now the Doom of Valentine's going to use Smite on the bikes. And he gets 4 shots. And first of all, passes the Psychic test. 4 shots, 2 hits, 1 wound. And I think it was me denying the Witch. Didn't deny the Witch, and I took a wound. So, well, actually, I don't think he just didn't save it. So next up, the Zoanthrope is going to use its Blast. He passes the Psychic test, scatters slightly, so it's hitting the boys and I think 1 of the bikes. Now the save. This is a save. Actually, Mad Doc. So Mad Doc fails his save, and then does the Lookout Sir, and managed to make the Lookout Sir. I don't think he can make a save. He's just doing his Feel No Pain. Now against the bikes, they've got 6 hits against the bikes, 3 wounds. I managed to make 1 of those saves, or 2 of those saves, but it does kill off the 1 bike. Next up, the Terragon is using its Splinter Salvo. There we go. 4 hits, 2 wounds, no hits. And then the Carnifexes fire their Venom Cannons. And both of them scatter slightly, but they do manage, and you see what scatter a little bit there. Managed to get 10 hits, of which of those 6 wound. And we're just continuing to roll there. I try to make my saves, because I think they're getting a cover save at that point, but 6 of those guys wind up failing, and then he's running the Termagants up towards his objective. I'm doing a leadership for the Burners, and I fail my leadership, so they're going to have to run back 8 inches. So move into difficult terrain there. We just had them run back. So combat. Now the warriors are going to attack the boys. So the boys get to Overwatch first. They get 14 shots, of which 3 hit and 1 wounds. Now the big shooters are going to fire as well at the same time, so they get 6 shots, 1 hit, no wounds, and then Mad Dog's going to fire with his slugga, and he fails to hit. So I managed to get, and he, for some reason, he rolled 2 dice, and only had 1 wound. He saved 2, or saved one of the 2 that he did roll, but, so now we'll go into, so the boys, now he's moving his guys in. And we're going to see me move my boys up. And the boys, because the Tyranids were coming out of cover, they have initiative 1, so the boys get to attack first. They get 14 attacks, of which those 5 hit, 1 wounds, but he makes his save. Now Mad Dog attacks next at initiative 1. He gets 4 attacks, of which 3 hit. These are power claw attacks, but of course I get 2 1s and a 2, so I only make 1 hit. I do take out the 1 warrior. Now the warriors get to retaliate against the boys, and they get 24 attacks, and that winds up to be 17 hits and 13 wounds. Now we start to have to do these individually, so the first one fails. For some reason I rolled twice on that one guy. I'm not sure I was supposed to be. So the first one's gone. The next one needs a 6+ and fails. Or 4 or 5. I guess they're rolling just the feel no pain. And fails that one. Next up, Mad Dog rolls. No, he fails. Now because he's a multi-wound character, he has to roll a leadership on 3 dice because he wound. Failed his leadership on 3 dice, so he's dead instantly. So that takes care of Mad Dog. Now the rest of the boys are just doing their feel no pain. So that one survived. That one, another one's dead. Or same one's dead. Next guy fails. Next one fails that as well because we're just rolling feel no pain, I believe. And the rest of them, I managed to make 2 of them. Now I did lose combat significantly, and so that wipes out that squad. And so he consolidates, moves back, or moves around 6 inches to get ready to take on the boys on bikes. And he's rolling to, one of the endurance rules allows him to roll at the beginning of each turn, or end of each turn, to get a life back. So we're on to Orks turn 3. So see if the Daka Jet comes in yet. Still rolling a 1, so he doesn't come in, but the truck with the 12 boys does. I put him on the table first. I should have just brought him in when I brought him in together. So now we're seeing the leadership on the Burner boys. They fail and have to run back an additional 8 inches. And now the boys and bikes are going to move in behind the Scorches. The bikes are moving up to get ready to charge the warriors. Now the mech in the Burner squad's going to fire his custom Mega Blaster at the Hive Tyrant. He fails to hit. Now the boys inside the truck are going to fire. They get 22 shots. 5 of those hit. Unfortunately, none of those wound. And then the big shoot is going to fire as well. And he gets 3 shots, 1 hit, no wound. And he's rolling again to see if the Hive Tyrant falls out of the sky, and he's fine. So now the bikes are going to fire. They get 12 Twin Link shots. Of those 12 shots, 8 hit, 5 wound. He makes 3 of the saves normally, and then gets 1 feel no pain save. So there's 1 wound against the warriors. Now the bikes are going to charge into those warriors. They get a 5-inch charge. And now the warriors get to fire their Devour and Death Spitters. They 12 shots, 2 hits, no wounds. And the Death Spitter fires 3 shots, no hits. The bikes move in. And the War Boss is going to challenge the Tyranid Prime. So first off, the first bike hits. He gets 4 attacks, 3 hits, 3 wounds. Managed to make 2 saves and 1 feel no pain save. So there's 1 wound against them. And the Warriors hits back with 4 attacks, 3 hits, 1 wound. And I do make my save. So next, the War Boss is going to attack. He gets 5 hits. 5 attacks, 5 hits, 4 wounds, and because it's a Power Claw, it just crushes that Tyranid Prime. So I took out his Warlord. Next, the Warriors get to attack back. They get 12 hits, 12 attacks, 9 hits, 4 wounds. I managed to make 3 of those 4 saves. But he does wind up killing one of the, or doing a wound against one of the bikes. So next up, the boy with the big choppa attack. They get 8 attacks, Only one of them hits, but it does wound, but he does make the save. And lastly, there's the boy with the power claw, gets 4 attacks, 3 hits, 3 wounds, and that wipes out those 3 warriors there, leaving just the 1 squad. So the bikes move up around them, and that brings us to the end of turn 3. And it was at this point, if you look at the table, the Tyranid's got to control the one objective up on their side. They've contesting the objective on my side. I don't have much left on the table. And at this point, we also realized that my camera had about 1% battery left, and that we'd run a little longer than we had hoped. So we're calling that a Tyranid victory. Thanks for watching, and a big thanks goes out to Mark for coming out and playing and letting me videotape our game. And thanks to Phoenix Games for letting us use their tables. They've got great terrain, great selection of product as well. So if you're in the Kitchener-Waterloo area and you haven't checked them out already, do so. And also, I will be doing a Rules You Got Wrong video shortly after this one posts, probably about a week after this is done based on the comments. So if you see any mistakes, any comments, suggestions, etc., throw them in the comment section below, because I will respond to them in the next video. And if you like this series, click on subscribe and like. If you live in the greater Kitchener-Waterloo area in Southern Ontario and want to play a game or want to come out, reach out in the comment section below, let me know. We can arrange a game, and thanks again for watching.